Hello traders, how are you doing? It's Footy Trader from myfootballtrading.com and it is another watchlist video. I have just released the strategy video where I very quickly describe the goal watch strategy by inplaytrading.com, fellow traders, but this video is all about the odds, all about the preparation for the weekend. So yeah, I may give it a go for Homer HT and for Goal Watch, both of these strategies during the weekend. If I find a good opportunities. But other than that, it will be all about the watch list and trading the markets where the odds are not reflecting the reality. This is what we do. Okay. So here is my magical. Oh, it's not magical really. Yeah, it's a really straightforward spreadsheet. And yeah, I'm more than happy that you guys decided to go through the odds with me. So, take a piece of paper or open an Excel spreadsheet and, if you don't have your watch list prepared, go through the odds with me. You don't necessarily need to agree, but, if you like the games, add them to the watch list as I do. Okay, so starting with the Premier League, and so it's we have 3 days of Premier League games. The majority will be played tomorrow, which is Saturday, and then 2 on Sunday and 1 on Monday. But it's all about the odds. So let's see. Brentford against Chelsea, 306, 2.19 for Chelsea. What I'll do maybe is I'll add all the odds and then we'll have a look on whether there is something crazy. Everton, West Ham, 208, 352. Fulham against Brighton, something to compare, 2.60, 2.62. Luton against Aston Villa, 450 to 168. And then we have Burnley against Bournemouth, 3.6 and 201. Manchester City and Manchester United, the Manchester Derby, 126 for Manchester City at home and 10.58 for United. Newcastle Wolves, 188, 383. Nottingham against Liverpool, 567 and 154. And Sheffield United against Arsenal, 1624 and Arsenal 117. Sheffield United being number 7 category team. And last but not least, Tottenham against Crystal Palace, 1.5 for Tottenham and 6.23 for Crystal Palace. Right, so there are some games that we can, quickly rule out, and it's this one, Liverpool, Arsenal, not be going against them. Also Tottenham against Crystal Palace seems fine, and Manchester City won't be going against them. Aston Villa against Luton seems fine. Burnley against Bournemouth, don't want to touch it either, and I'll be staying away from Chelsea, really. Now, here is, however, the situation. So, for me, and again, you may disagree, but for me, Chelsea, West Ham, and Brighton are the teams from the very same category, presenting a similar level. If you look at the Premier League table, Chelsea is 11th, West Ham is 8th, Brighton is 7th. Now, Brentford is 16th, but Everton and Fulham Fulham is 12th, Everton is 15th, but you know they wouldn't be 15th if not the 6 points deduction. So so there's something clearly wrong here. Now if we take number 4, category 6, playing away being the favorite, this one is correct. But those ones are not. I mean, Everton and Fulham, for me, they are kind of better than Brentford, and those odds are just crazy. I mean, West Ham 3.52 against Everton. I know that you know, West Ham was struggling recently, but they've won convincingly with Brentford 4.4-2. Everton is the team without a win, really. And even if we look at Everton home games, they didn't win in last 4. West Ham is okay. It's not convincing away, but I think it's just an exaggeration. Here, if we look at Brighton and Fulham, Brighton won with Sheffield United away 5-0. Fulham lost with Aston Villa at home. This one is fine for me. I mean, Chelsea 219 with the category 6 team, and we have Brighton facing category 5 team 262 is something that I can accept. However, West Ham is an exaggeration. So subject to the starting lineup, but Everton against West Ham is something that I will add to my watch list. Newcastle and Wolves. So first of all, Newcastle at home is a completely different team than away. Newcastle at home, however, didn't win any of the last 4 games. They lost with Nottingham Forest, they lost with Manchester City, they drew with Luton, and they drew with Bournemouth. Now Brighton away, they won with Sheffield United. They were also struggling a little bit. But Brighton is 7th overall and Newcastle is 10th. I wouldn't... Okay, but what I'm talking about, it's Wolves. But it's okay, it's similar. Wolves are 9th and Newcastle are 10th. I mean, Wolves are higher in the table than Newcastle. And if you look at Wolves away games, they are pretty good. They defeated Brentford, they defeated Chelsea, they defeated Tottenham. So this has to go on my watch list. 188. I don't think. Wolves to beat Newcastle 26% is not correct. It's just not correct. So definitely we'll be having a closer look at that. La Liga, which I think I should have filled in some information here, but let's look at the games. Okay, where are my odds? Where is my list? Okay, I have it. Starting with Sevilla against Real Sociedad, 2.61, 303. Funny stuff. Rayo Vallecano Cadiz 183 for Vallecano, something, and 5.10. Cadiz category 7. I'm marking it as a no immediately. But it would be good to compare, yeah, because we have Mallorca, same category. Villarreal Granada will be good to compare with Vallecano Cadiz. Anyway, first we have Getafe against Las Palmas, and we have 201 and 426. Something to be accepted. Yeah, Getafe at home should be probably 2.2, but okay, I'm fine with it. Valencia Real Madrid. I think also the odds are pretty correct. 165 for Real Madrid away with Valencia. Then Villarreal against Granada. Yeah, 165 and 498. We had 183 for Vallecano, 165 for Villarreal. Nothing very much unusual here, so it should be fine. Atletico Madrid and Betis, 1.56 and 572. Yeah, Atletico Madrid at home they are pretty good, and you know, if you look at Betis playing away, they are only 10th in the table. Yeah, Atletico Madrid is the top home team in La Liga at the moment, 37 points. So nothing to add here. Have to leave it as it is. And the big one, Athletic Bilbao against Barcelona, 2.8 and 2.48. So very recently, and it was yesterday actually, I backed Athletic Bilbao at around 2.7. They were 2.7 against Atletico Madrid at home, and they've demolished Atletico 3-0. It won't be an easy game for Barcelona for a number of reasons, and only one of them being the fact that Athletic Bilbao is just, when they are at home at San Mamés Stadium, they are just like machines. I would even say that Atletico Madrid should be favorites in this game. They are third in the league when you take into account home games. Athletic Bilbao, they lost only one in 13. But Barcelona is also third and undefeated away. So it will be a great game. We'll add it to the watch list. We'll see what will happen with the odds, and depending on that may get involved. So yeah, something definitely to check further. I've now realized that I forgot about Mallorca and Girona. It's 325 and Girona, yeah, I mean 231. The market, yeah, the market has problems, right, recently in evaluating Girona, and it's not only for the market, because it's the same for me, really. But when you do the comparisons, yeah, Mallorca 17th in the league table. Now, come on, and Girona is second, and 43%. I think it's worth adding to the watch list. Yeah. And this one, Sevilla against Real Sociedad. Sevilla 15th, Real Sociedad 7th, and yeah, Real Sociedad 4th if you look at their away games, and Sevilla at home only 14th. I don't think Sevilla should be the favorites in this game. Not at all. I can even check what their recent result was. Yeah, I mean, in the last two La Liga games, Real Sociedad won. Even in 3. And it was always 2-1 to Real Sociedad. So definitely Sevilla should not be the favorites here. So this one lands on my watch list. By the way, if you're interested in what was the last Mallorca against Girona result, Girona won 5-3 at home in September, but they've met in quarterfinals of Copa del Rey, and Mallorca was leading 3-0, and they won 3-2 on the 24th of January. So it will be a good case to take revenge. Yeah. And by the way, in that game, we can check Mallorca at home. Yeah, the odds were pretty similar. The odds were pretty similar. Will be interesting to see how Girona performs against Mallorca in that game. Okay, guys, let me know what you think about it, and whether you feel it worthy adding to the watch list or not. But in the meantime, we move on. And we move on to Italy. We had the one game, Lazio against AC Milan. I was involved in that game. I backed Milan, but only after Lazio got a red card, and Milan was like 206 to score the winning goal. In the end, they won 1-0. Lazio got 3 red cards in the end. So pretty crazy game. But let's see what's ahead of us. And we're starting with Udinese Salernitana, definitely not something that I will be involved in, and also the odds are pretty much correct. Monza against AS Rome, 365. Rome being better, of course, and 207 despite playing away. Everything in order. Torino against Fiorentina. So I have Fiorentina better than Torino. The market disagrees because Torino plays at home. We have 2.61 for Torino at the moment, 2.98 for Fiorentina. In the table, Torino is 10th, Fiorentina 7th, but Fiorentina is really struggling away. 3 losses in the last 4 games, and Torino at home lost with Lazio 0-2, but other than that, they had 4 undefeated games. So not really sure what to expect. Probably Fiorentina should be a little bit lower than 2.98, but I don't think that I want to get involved. We have 38% for Torino to win and 33% for Fiorentina. It is difficult for me to evaluate this because Fiorentina lost 9 games in the league and they are higher in the table than Torino, who lost 8. So there's a tricky one. I will let it go. Verona against Sassuolo is the next one. Both red, both category 6, and of course 2.26 because the market agrees that these teams are performing pretty similarly, and Verona is playing at home, so there is that small advantage. And then we have Empoli against Cagliari. Similar stuff here and similar odds. 2.15 this time and 3.55, so kind of fair. Frosinone against Lecce again, so what will that be? 2.15? Will that be 2.26? Yes, it is 2.29. So it's okay. Nothing unusual. Now the big one is Atalanta against Bologna, and Atalanta should be again around 2.15, 2.2, but they are 1.96. Not something that I would immediately add to the watch list. Bologna 4th in the table, Atalanta 5th. This can go really either way. Maybe, Atalanta is 3rd in the league table if you look at the home games. So they're really good at home, really good. They've scored 30 goals at home and conceded 8. So they're very good at home. And Bologna is only 11th if you look at their away games. So this is why those odds are shorter than they should be. Now, Inter against Genoa is not something that I will be involved in. This is 127 for Inter, 11.89. I mean, I don't think anything will take Scudetto from Inter. This one, however, I disagree with. Juventus, for me, is performing better than Napoli. I understand that Napoli plays at home, but they can't be, 3.22 for Juventus. I don't know why. Is it that some key players are missing? Federico Chiesa, doubtful. Rabiot, doubtful. Not that anyone very important is missing. We can say that both teams struggle recently, but it's definitely the odds do not reflect the reality. They should be more even than that. I know that. Okay, Napoli plays at home, but they are not the same category as Juventus at the very moment. If we look at the table, for example, Juventus is second. Napoli is 9th, so come on. And Juventus at home is away. Juventus away is also second in the table. Yeah, so Napoli at home is 14th. So had to be added to the watch list, really. All right. Now we have Bundesliga, and we had one game, Bayern against Freiburg. This one ended 2-2. Surprisingly or not, because, Bayern is really struggling in the recent games. So let's look at the other games. Bochum against Leipzig, 4.8. Bochum and 1.65. Fair. Darmstadt against Augsburg, 6th against 7th. No, 2.87. Yeah, it's pretty much correct. 2.46. Yeah, despite playing away, but they are a better team in terms of the categories. Something that I agree with. Heidenheim against Frankfurt, 2.81, 2.55. Very similar to this one, and we have category 7, category 6. Here we have category 5, category 4. There is a logical trend here, and a logical approach rather, which I definitely agree with. Now Mainz against Mönchengladbach, I don't know, 198, 3.69. Does Mainz have really 50% chances of beating Mönchengladbach at home? I will check this. Union Berlin, I will get back to that game. 3.42, 2.11 for Dortmund. Let's compare with Stuttgart against Wolfsburg. Pretty much the same. 3.28 and 2.17. Brilliant. Yeah, those odds are evaluated pretty accurately, we can say. Köln Leverkusen, not a lot to talk about here. 8.37 for Köln and Leverkusen 1.37. Hoffenheim Bremen 194, 3.66. So those two games, let's explore a little bit further. So Mainz against Mönchengladbach first. Mainz 17th in the table out of 18 teams. Mönchengladbach 12th. Really struggling. I will probably be staying away. Mainz 17th in the table as well if you look at their home games. Mönchengladbach away, pretty terrible. 1 win in 11 games, 15th. It's not something to invest in. It's a no. Hoffenheim against Bremen. Hoffenheim 7th, Bremen 8th. Both teams 30 points. Bremen away is doing pretty well, actually. 2 draws and 3 wins in last 5. Hoffenheim at home, only 2 wins in 11. So this one lands in my watch list. 194 is I think wrong. But again, take into account the fact that Hoffenheim won only 2 home games in 11. Yeah, and Bremen, yeah, they won 3 in 11, but they won 3 in a row recently. They've defeated Bayern München, they defeated Mainz, and they defeated Köln. Tricky situation. And it's funny because both of these teams have exactly the same record. I mean, they won 8, drew 6, and lost 9. -2, -3 goal difference, and 30 points. So very similar teams. Okay, Hoffenheim playing at home is not an advantage in this case. That's my concern. So we'll see. You know, if the starting lineups are full strength, maybe worth using a smaller stake than usual and laying Hoffenheim. Yeah. Okay, and the last one, Liga. We will scan through Liga quickly. A most difficult league to work with for me. But let's do a very quick scan and see whether there's something that is completely crazy. Monaco PSG was the first game, and it was played today, ended 0-0, 3-3. Yeah, Paris Saint-Germain was around even money. Let's move on. Clermont and Marseille, 4-16, 187. Acceptable. Number 3 against number 5. Yeah. Nantes against Metz, we have 181, 481. Which is pretty much okay. Montpellier, Strasbourg, 203. Should be probably around 2.2, but okay. Won't be getting involved in that. Olympique Lyon against Lens, 2.56, 2.81. Okay, so here I was expecting 2.2, but here I was also expecting 2.2. 2.56 for Lyon seems generous, unless there's something I'm missing. So let's have a very quick look. Olympique Lyon 10th in the table, but on a pretty good run recently, 4 wins in a row. Lens, however, 4-4-4, 4 wins, 4 draws, and 4 defeats away. Yeah, Lens 6, Lyon 10th. Should be a good game, really. Should be a good game. When they last met, Lens won 3-2 at home. So was a pretty good game. But Lyon are machines recently, and Lens is struggling. We'll give it a go. 2.56 is worth investing, in my opinion. Let's move on. Brest against Le Havre. So we have number 2 against number 4. Yes, 162, of course. The market confirms. Then we have Stade Rennais against Lorient. 143, 751. Rennes 7th, Lorient 16th. Yeah, Lorient is pretty bad at away. They are 17th if you take into account 18th teams. So yeah, won't be checking that. This one we would expect. Okay, Lille away. Yeah, the market is saying 2.75, 2.63. We can accept it. And this one, 3.36 and 2.21, we can accept as well. So I think that's it. That's it, really. We have this one game, Olympique Lyon. Yeah, looks pretty generous at this moment. If I can check the Betfair exchange, on the Betfair exchange, we have 2.68 at the moment. Pretty good, I think, for Olympique Lyon. Okay, and with that, I thank you very much for this session. I hope you found it useful. I hope it helped you build your own watch list. And with that, it's almost Saturday. It's like 20 minutes now when I'm recording it until midnight. So here is for the great weekend. Stay green and may it be a good and profitable trading experience for you on Saturday and Sunday. And of course, mixed with a lot of action and great goals. So thanks again. We'll speak again. You can hit me up on Twitter anytime. See you guys. Bye-bye.